So welcome to, what is this, the 35th episode of Social Chatter? Or sorry, 34th, I think, right? 33, 34? I don't know. We're in the 30s.
I don't know.
Episode of Social Chatter. My name is Christian Karasevich. I'm the CEO and founder of Social Chefs. And I'm going to put a couple of links in here for everybody, but I'm joined by my co-host, my colleague, Mr. Vincent Orlek over here. And basically what we do every single Thursday is we try to bring you, or we don't try, we bring you the three best pieces of social media news from the past week, and also the three tools that we think you as a business owner can really utilize in your business, because there's a lot of tools out there, and some of them they're good tools, but they're not practical for business. So what we do is we try to source the best ones for you, and then kind of give you some insights into how the topics and the tools can be used to help your business grow. So I'm going to put a couple of links in here for everybody, but if you want to ask us any questions, you can put /Q. By the way, how's my audio here?
Fine. You're fine.
Okay. Forgot the mic was like way over here for some reason. So you /Q. If you want to put a question in, you can also send us a tweet. I'm going to put quite a few links in here for you, but we've got link number 1. That's the Social Chefs Twitter handle. Link number 2, that's my Twitter handle. We've got link number 3, Vincent Orlek, and you can also use #SocialChatter. Vincent and I both monitor that, and we put that in there because if you have any questions, you can just tweet us, and we'll get to those. Vincent, also, I don't know if you want to share a link to the Blabaholics group that you have. What do you got? Like, are you at 1,500? What number are you at now?
Oh, the numbers don't matter.
It's a very active group, but tell everybody quickly about that group.
Yeah, it's over 1,000. It's people that, just anyone that's on Blab that you don't have to be a crazy Blab addict, even though it's the Blabaholics. It's just I try to provide a spot for you to post your link for the day, although that's not the full purpose for the group. It's more about staying in touch with what's going on. All the the Blab Brain Trust is in there. Sean and Furkan and Brittany, Jake, Victor, all the engineers and stuff.
Awesome.
So it's a good place to ask a question. They'll, more often than not, they'll answer it. All the folks you see and love on Blab normally are in there too. So it's a good spot. Yeah, we got some love at the conference this week I went to Sean's influencer marketing presentation, his solo one. He gave me a shout out in the crowd, and then Joel put it in his presentation for his awesome. how to do a Blab.
Well, that's really good, man. I mean, I'm part of the group, and I love being part of it. I know there's a lot of really great discussions. If we ever have any challenges with things, we know we can always go and get help there. So if you haven't checked it out, feel free to drop that link over there in the chat window, Vincent. That way everybody can.
Oh yeah, I will. Awesome. I'll drop it right now. I was tweeting out the show.
Okay, so we got quite a number of topics to talk about today. I did want to talk about. I want to start off with topic number 1, actually. And topic number 1 is actually something I talked about last week, and we're going to try some new features here. By the way, on Blab today, we've got some new stuff, some new tools that they've launched. So I want to start by talking about Facebook Notes and Instant Articles.
And I'm gonna let you're driving on this one because this is your world. This is what you just did a presentation on at Social Media Marketing World, right?
Absolutely. And if you want to tweet any of these out, feel free to. But okay, so topic number 1, Facebook Notes and Instant Articles. They're basically 2 different tools, I would say. They're both Facebook features, obviously. Facebook Notes. It's an old product. It's been around for a number of years. It got a revamp last year around, I think, September, October. They then took on, the look of Medium and LinkedIn Publisher. But what Facebook Notes are they're basically blogging on Facebook. And, I talked about a lot of this in my presentation, but you're basically able to go on to a Facebook page or a Facebook profile. You can, at that point, write a Facebook note and publish that for your fans or your friends to see. A couple of features, I guess, about notes. So obviously, if you have your own blog already, why would you want to use this feature? Well, there are plenty of reasons why. You don't have to use it, for instance, and say, okay, I'm going to write all my blog posts on Facebook. You can use it as a way to repurpose your existing content. And what you would do with that is on Facebook Notes, you would basically just go to publish a Facebook note, and don't give away the whole post. What you do is you take you basically take, your title that you've already written, take a synopsis of your post, put that in the Facebook note, make sure it's eye catching, both visually and, in written form. And then at the end, just say, if you want to read the full article, head back to my blog where you basically link off to your original article. So pretty straightforward. There's a ton of other ways you can use this. I talked about in my presentation about Facebook Live video. If you started using that feature, what is happening now is when you create a new Facebook Live video, it creates an instance on your Facebook page, and every single one of those will go under the photos and then the video section of your Facebook page. If you create a bunch of these, every single, let's say you create 1 to 3 a week, that's a lot for somebody to have to go through. So what you can do is you can create a note just for your Facebook videos and your live videos, and then just basically copy and paste different links to the videos that you've done and put them in a note. And then that way, that's something that's always accessible. From an instant articles front, by the way, I'm going to try this new screen sharing feature here in a minute.
Well, actually, before you get to the instant articles, I have a question for you about the notes.
Yeah, sure.
From where you stand, your opinion on it, do you think, because remember, we talked about this when they first revamped it to look like Medium and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you think, and I haven't seen it really so far, I really haven't seen people using it. I've seen Robert Scoble, I think I've used it myself, but I really haven't seen people jump on it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's because they're not, or if I'm just not seeing it because of Facebook's algorithm. Do you think that it will get to the point at some point, maybe it's now, maybe it's later on, do you think Facebook is going to have the same strategy like they did with their with uploading video natively to Facebook, as opposed to uploading a YouTube link, where they favor a Facebook Notes post over, they're going to show you that over showing you a link from, an article somewhere else? Another one.
I think at the moment, so a couple of things. I think at the moment, a lot. I would say when I did a quick show of hands in my presentation, during my presentation, a lot of people actually were not using them. There were a couple of hands that went up. I think that the moment that Facebook says, "Hey, we're gonna," for example, they came out with live video. They came out with Facebook native video. When they started coming out with those, that was the key thing that you want to be using in the moment. And then I think as Facebook starts to shift that algorithm. So for example, if they go from, let's say they go from native video to live video, you are going to want to put your effort into live video on that. If it's notes, you're going to, if that's what they say, hey, we want to give preference for notes, then you want to shift your strategy to where you're starting to publish more notes take it.
Well, remember when they did the update? Also, I think it was last summer, where they said that they were going to start favoring longer content, essentially. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seemed to tie in with that. It seemed to tie in with the fact that they're definitely trying to move towards the blogging, the news, more long form type stuff. But that was even the case where if you had a longer post, a status update, that was, if people stayed on it, the longer someone stayed on your post, the more that would also affect the algorithm. Is what when it came out and was saying. So, I mean, they're definitely moving in that direction to some extent.
And I would say, okay, so a couple of other things about notes.
Yes.
One thing is they are they are indexed for search. It's a little bit slow, but they are indexed. So that's another reason why you might want to use a note. If you're blogging, for instance, and you're not spending a lot of time on SEO optimization, or you're just not, you're not very good at it, because it does take time. Notes would be a little bit of a shortcut. So for example, you could write your post on your blog, you try to get it out there, but then in the Facebook note, you could create basically a micro piece of content and link off to your full post, and you'd be able to take advantage of Facebook to then dump people back off to your website. The other thing is Facebook has, this is a stat I cited, they had 1.59 billion monthly active users. So that's another reason why you want to consider using notes, because you can't go anywhere. I mean, you can publish all the blog content you want on their site.
Yeah.
If you're not getting any traffic right now to your site as it is, you're just basically on a hamster wheel. going through the motions. And that's where, if you use notes, you can leverage that a little bit better. So I'd say that can definitely help tap people into that. And then the other really great thing is the more people that go to your site from your notes, the more opportunities, as long as you have sharing obviously enabled and have social sharing very prominent on your site, the more people that start to share your content and talk about it, the more that's going to also help you go up the ranks of Google, because people, the more that happens, it all goes into a big formula. Yep. And you're going to try to show the most relevant content. So, Robin, yes, I have a pixel on my site. Okay. So if you have a pixel on your site, you could then build a custom audience off of, depending on what content you link to from the note, whether it's going to a specific piece or if it's going to, say, a landing page. I would try to, if you dump them into a specific piece, you could have a pixel related to that one article or that category. So the benefits for you there would be that you could then retarget based on somebody going to an article. So, let's see. Wow, that's the notes part. I guess we forgot the instant articles part.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
The instant articles part, pretty straightforward, and it's not actually, you're not creating new content. So, for example, I'm not taking a piece of blog content and creating a second version called an instant article. What I'm doing is I'm signing up for instant articles, and then what I'm doing is telling Facebook, based on the piece of content, what elements I want to load when someone clicks on the article from the newsfeed. This one actually, I'm sure, is going to draw a lot of people are going to have a hard time about it, or a hard time with it, because people are not going off your website when you use instant articles. What they're doing is on mobile, it's going to have a lightning bolt on the article. If there's an instant article, if somebody clicks it, it's going to basically show a link to your Facebook page. It's going to show the like button, and then it's going to show the title, and then whatever is included in the instant article. At that point, it's supposed to load a lot faster. Vincent, if you want to tweet this out, you're welcome to. But basically, instant articles, they're saying 70% less people not view. Let's say it's 70% abandonment. So it's 70. So it's like 70% of the audience is not abandoning the content. So that's part of it. And then it's 20. You get 30% more. Let's say it's 30% more shares and 20% more clicks is basically the benefit of using instant articles at the moment, at least according to Facebook. So it's basically creating an optimized version for Facebook so that anyone who clicks on it from mobile doesn't get taken off your site, but they basically get an immersive experience on mobile based on the elements you define. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. And if it doesn't make sense to everybody watching, just let us know. But I had a lot of questions on that. So that's instant articles for you.
Yeah, I don't think people even really understand what it is until they're gonna have to see it.
Yeah,
use it for a bit before they really understand.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see it. And I would also say the other thing that's really important about instant articles is, by the way, Kevin, thank you so much for that. Thanks for saying that's the best explanation you've had. I mean, it really, here's the thing. It really is this for people that say, hey, I'm not going to get anybody to my site. You can still track them and cookie them and whatnot when they view an article and run ads and stuff towards them. You can monetize them. There's a number of ways using like display ads and selling your own ads and so forth. And the other thing is, if you're just using like your website with pop-ups and stuff to do like trick people to sign up for your list, you're not the person that should be using instant articles. Instant articles are for people that really want to develop a meaningful relationship with their readers. So you basically craft the experience, and at that point, someone will opt into your list, whether it's through your Facebook page, through a call to action button, or what. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I did say cookie, and yes, it for me it's dinner time, but cookies, dinner, either one, yes. Okay, so that's instant articles. Let's see. Let's go to topic 2. If no one has any questions, real quick.
What is R next?
It's actually a Facebook Rights Manager.
Go for it.
And actually, I'm looking at Kevin's question here real quick. We have a strong content site, but was given the impression that IE was not worthwhile. So, Kevin, if you want to elaborate more on that, I'd love to. I'll jump back to that question once we get through some of these topics. So topic number 2 for today is Facebook has a new rights manager tool. and I'm putting a link in here for everybody. And there's a new screen sharing feature, so we might try that out here in a minute, Vincent. But this new feature is, and by the way, Vincent, I'm totally going to let you take all the next topic. So we'll pin.
Yeah, no, that's good. This is your stuff right here. This is what you.
So, rights.
I mean, this is why they bring you into conferences to present. So, absolutely.
No, and I mean, I like this because I mean, you can do, I know you're like the, I don't want to say guru, but like you're the Snapchat, you're.
I'm okay. I learn every day. But I'm into it. Go ahead.
So topic number 2 today, it's Facebook Rights Manager, and we touched on this briefly last week, but basically it's a way for you to keep a reference library of all the video content that you upload to Facebook. It also includes your live video streams. And this is actually really nice that Facebook has rolled this out. What it basically does is it lets you go and identify and match your content against other content. So you can review it and see, for example, if there's if there's duplicate content or somebody like stole your content, that's a way that you can now monitor that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you go there, you basically just have to you have to apply for Rights Manager. It's pretty straightforward. You apply for it, you give them a mailing address and so forth, and they'll basically, hopefully they'll approve you pretty quickly. I didn't think it was a bad process, but some of these things may take a little time to get approved on. So this is, from a business perspective, this is a great tool to have. I mean, YouTube already has stuff like this, to where when you upload content, I mean, they already have a very sophisticated content engine that compares your content to others, and they flag the content, but this is neat because you can determine off of this people that are using your content. You can see, you can actually, you can have other people manage and monitor your content using the Rights Manager API. There's certain pages that you can whitelist to have permission to use your content. So if you're having any partnerships you're doing, this is really great for that. So overall, I mean, it's pretty cool. You basically just apply. And very, very, very useful. There's a ton of questions on here as well, like how do I report or claim of copyrighted information and so forth. But I recommend definitely checking this out if you're a business and you upload a lot of video content to Facebook. Awesome. So, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, are you? I know I'm signing up for this, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sign up for it.
You guys started using it in your organization?
Yeah, I mean, we have a blog, and we have the stuff and just the stuff that gets posted, and we don't, not that our stuff gets really taken and stolen. What happens is our folks will use it. They want to use it in a good way, but a lot of it is copyrighted.
And this is actually good for you, for instance. So if you have certain Facebook pages, you want to have access to certain things, you can give them access to it without having any issues.
Right.
So yeah, so that's Rights Manager for everybody. Any questions on that, actually? Robin, so it's actually you can apply as the person or the organization. So for example, you can apply, like if you go through the Rights Manager app, the application, basically you put your name in, your organization or the client, your job title, for instance, if you're managing it for somebody else, and so forth, all of your pertinent information, so phone numbers and emails, and you basically putting in a URL or a page ID to a page that's associated with the rights owner. So pretty straightforward, but I would say so you got a couple of options there, basically.
Yep.
So does that help answer your question?
So what else we got?
Yeah, the name of the rights owner. Yeah. So that's basically what you're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next topic here, and then we'll jump back to some questions. Got a couple of instant article questions. So what is this, topic 3 for today? And we did pick a couple more topics than normal. But topic number 3 for today is, let's see. Topic number 3 is actually Snapchat. Vincent, what is this one exactly? This is what, Snapchat story sharing or custom audiences, I think?
Is that the, yeah, I mean, that's That's one of them. Is
Custom
it
audiences, I think, right?
custom audience? Yeah.
Okay, so we got topic 3. What is it? Tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
And how they use it in their business.
Yeah. So, and this link, this was honestly the only reason that this link we're using is because this was a it's not really out there much. I haven't heard anything about it. I heard more about the other thing we're going to talk about in a second with the pinned emojis. With this, it's like hidden and it didn't really get much fanfare. So if you're on Snapchat, adding Film Grouch there that left, but I added him. So Snapchat now allows you, they made an update that allows you to do a custom audience within your story. So here's what the change is. It used to be that, say I wanted to send, there's stories on Snapchat where I can post something and it'll be up for 24 hours if I post it to my story. Anyone that pays attention to me, that follows me there, can watch it unless I delete it, right? So it's up there. If I want to send something just to a select group of people, it would be like a group snap, almost like tagging them on Facebook in a way, but more like a group DM, if you will. So I would do a snap, I'd select the specific people to send it to, and it would go to those 10 people. Or if I'm putting something into my story, I can add it to my story and individually select another group of people. That's kind of like, people don't really like that. They especially don't like it when you do it in both, because now I watch your story and then I get like the same snap to me when I go and look in my messages and I see a message from you and it's like that snap that you picked, right? So what this is they've instituted them, they're calling it a custom audience, where you can go in and select a specific piece of content or multiple pieces of content, image or video, to be shown within your story, but only to certain people that follow you, but it's within the story. So it's not me sending the message to you directly. It's in my story, but because you were added to that certain custom audience list, only you are seeing it if you're on that list of mine. So let me hold on. Let me update.
Does that make sense to everyone that's watching? If it doesn't, just let us know. Thanks for letting us know.
So I'm trying to think of a good way to say. So say you're on Facebook, right? This is probably an easy way to do it. Say you're on Facebook and you put up a post, and you only want it to go to certain people, or you put up a series of posts, let's say. And so you're posting, and then you get this post that you only want to go to a certain group of people, so you select from your lists, right? And you can send it to that list of people, and only that list of people sees it. The difference here within Snapchat is that it's on your story. So it may be something that is part of the bigger story. Or if you're just randomly putting snaps out, then it's just a snap that only those people can see that you pick. So the use for this, if we're talking business, small business, or a business case for it, if you as the business are using Snapchat and say, like, on a day, today you're doing a specific story, right? You have a specific part of your customer base that say you're let's see, I'm trying to think, like a restaurant, okay? Here's a good example. You're a restaurant, you're snapping. You have all these people that follow you on Snapchat. You're snapping your normal story. But you're really good at Snapchat as the restaurant. You pay attention to it like no one else. And you guys, today, the special is lasagna. And that special, that there's like these 5 people that come in specifically for your lasagna to the restaurant. And today you like decided to have the lasagna. So now in the middle of your overall story that's maybe focused on something else, you can pop it in there and say, custom audience, select those 5 people that are following you on Snapchat, and just insert a message in there that says something about the lasagna. Like, hey, surprise, guess what? We got our lasagna. We're making it today. You should come in. And so it could be something that directly generates business for you, depending on the industry that you're in. There's probably a million different use cases for it. That was just a very basic example. But yeah, I really, whatever your mind creates for your business for that, there's a lot of different ways. So let's say, for instance, how about this? So you run social media for like a transportation business, a transportation company, and there's a stop that's not going to happen that day. Like it's a bus company, right? And there's a stop that's not going to happen that day. And you got to tell people, well, one way you could do it is, that there's these people that are on that stop, that part of town, and you can insert that in there and say, hey, you guys, just so you know, this stop isn't happening today. It's got canceled due to whatever, the track is broken or there's construction. I mean, whatever it is. So that's another use case. So it's almost like you could use it for a special bulletin to certain people that are your followers, for special information, for special deals, special offers, things like that. I mean, those are really like, low-hanging fruit type of things you could use it for.
Okay, very good.
Does that make sense?
Good on this.
What's up, everybody? Who's in here? Christy, Monique. What's up, Q?
Okay, so we're gonna keep running. Let's keep running for some more topics. What do we got? Let's see. Topic 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5. Actually, we're on 4. Okay, this is another one. This one's pretty straightforward, but basically, it's a new.
This is the emoji thing on Snapchat. The Snapchat one.
I'm on what, 3 or 4?
I don't know. Is it the Snapchat one for the emoji?
Yes.
So it's Snapchat. Another Snapchat update. Pretty big update. And if you use Snapchat, this is a fun one. It's a fun one for the most part. I mean, it's I don't know how much business related it is, other than creating fun branding for yourself. But it's pinned emoji. So a week ago, this update came out on Android, and within the last day or two, I guess it was 2 days, it came out on iOS. So essentially, you can take an emoji now on a snap, and it's on a video snap, and you can pin it on the screen. So if you just pin it anywhere, it'll kind of like move with the image, with the video. I was messing around. You can put like goofy stuff over people's heads so that when they're walking, like that's their head. It was Christian I was in Marcus Sheridan's session, right? And he was on fire, as always. And right, and I put fire over his face and his head. But it's for fun. It's a lot of fun. So it's more geared towards branding and things. Look, is there a way that you can use it specifically for your business? I'm sure someone's going to find a way right off the top. I don't know off the top immediately what the business case use is, other than making it more engaging.
I would say, yeah, I think on something like that, it's going to be the whole engaging thing. By the way, are you hearing an echo?
On your side?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay.
No, it's probably the headphones. That's what it is.
But everybody else is hearing it. Okay. I guess, yeah.
So, yeah, I would say from a business use case, I mean, you're going to be able to, like, in that case, for instance, if Marcus was, for instance, you said he was on fire, like you could tie that in to really make things even more engaging for the audience that happens to see those snaps. It could be anything that you're doing. It could be an event. It could be somebody getting ready to kick off the keynote. There's, Snapchat's got some really, really good things you can tie into your videos that you're creating. So just think about how you're going to use it. Like if you're using Snapchat, by the way, if anybody has questions or any, if you have any ideas, feel free to just put them over here in the comments and whatnot, and we'll we can, hey, that's a good idea, or what, here's another way you could do that. But I would say, I mean, that this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. I think I saw one today that I think there was somebody that had like a hat. I want to say it was a Facebook hat, or sorry, I was like, that was in Masquerade. Sorry, wrong hat.
You can do the same thing. I was doing that too, like little hat on someone's head, and it stays on there. Like when they move, it stays on there.
Absolutely. And, so I'd say it's something you want to experiment with. I mean, there's not to say, okay, there's one specific way you have to use this. Look through the things that are there. And then as you're doing things, in a way, I think these are kind of cool too, because they make people be more creative with what they're doing. They just don't say, hey, this is exactly how you use this for business. Just, it's a way to, like, if your Snapchats, for instance, are very engaging and people are going on there, they don't all have to be related to your business. They're just ways to show people, hey, this is actually really exciting. And you have more people talking about you, saying, hey, their channel is really cool, it's fun, and so forth. And that way, there's some really cool stuff you could do. I would even say,
And ideally, it's not, I mean, you're not selling your business on there. That's not what it's for. It's definitely for the fun, humanizing type side or influencer side.
Mm-hmm.
Have someone, if you own a business and you have someone that's really good at that type of stuff, maybe hand them the account. And they're kind of like the brand champion, the brand ambassador, and they're the only thing that they're doing is the Snapchat account. You give your audience a reason to follow you there. That could be like really fun, really cool. And it's all about the exposure, because then they'll tell people, oh man, it's not even about whether someone likes the business itself or not, or as a patron. It's more about the exposure and the awareness. And they'll tell, if it's a fun account, they'll tell people. I mean, I can't tell you how many accounts I see. Like Taco Bell, I'm not like a huge Taco Bell eater.
Right.
In fact, it's one of the ones I think about least when I think about going somewhere to lunch. But their Snapchat account is pretty good. They're fun. And has it made me more aware? It absolutely has.
Yeah, I mean, it really is about creating. I mean, you don't have to pitch every time about your business,
right?
And that applies to every social network. I mean,
you know that.
Like, there's a lot of businesses that they go on Facebook and all they do is talk about their business, or they go on their own Snapchat and they're just trying to say, okay, well, what can we do to sell products? And it's not just about selling products; it's about creating an experience for people. I mean, that's what we talked. I talked about that with Notes, like Facebook Notes. It's an old product, but it's a product that if you use it in the right way, like, it's different content, for instance, than what you put as a standard link in your post that you're sharing with people.
Well, the Notes in particular is totally different right now. I mean, It's nothing like it used to be.
No.
And I know, Randy, it was in existence for a long time. Believe me, I know. I used to try to kind of use it.
Right.
It was so pointless. And then it's buried on not even on tabs. Like, you have to activate it to your tabs, and no one used it for a long time. And I mean, this led to why they revamped it. And so, not to get back into Notes, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing is just to look at it and say, okay, what can we do to make this applicable for our business? It's not going to fit with every business, but I would say you would want to familiarize yourself at least with these new Snapchat emoji. That, by the way, that was actually another topic I had on here, which was Snapchat motion tracking. And that's actually what you were describing there. I do a lot of video. I do a lot of video editing, and I use different tools. I use tools they're more high-end tools, but it's really neat. So you can use motion tracking to basically stick an object to something. And if you wanted to do that before, it was it's a very complex process. It's time-consuming. So for example, here's an example. Let's say my T-shirt. Let's say I have this logo I want to blur out here, right? I can blur it out and apply motion tracking to where I can move all over the place and it sticks to that spot. That's exactly what Snapchat's new emoji in video are. So if you're gonna, it's actually neat. You're kind of in a way learning a really advanced concept by applying emoji to your video. So that's how they are able to keep it on there. So it's pretty neat. And it's usually a complex thing, but I like how they're making it easier for people to understand how it works. So with that, do you have any other topics you want to talk about today? I don't have any other topics. I've just got some tools.
Nope.
Okay. So let's see. Let me see if this will actually work. Let's see. So yeah, absolutely. Great question. So, okay, I've got a new Blab feature going on here. Okay, so let me see.
Oh yeah, screen share.
This will work. Okay. Very cool. I can actually do this. So let's see.
Oh, look, is this going to be a screen share or?
I'm going to screen share what I've got going on here. Let's see if it works. I've not done this ever yet, guys.
No, we haven't done this. Whoa!
Okay. This is actually, okay, this is really awesome though, okay? So one of the new features, actually there's two new features on Blab. One of those is if you go on Blab, there's you see this green button right here at the bottom? Okay. So what I can do, for example, with this is, by the way, Bobby, awesome, really awesome. Did you get the same color shirt or did you get I think they had a tan one or something?
Yeah, dude, the screen that we see is like Infinity Blab.
This actually should be.
That's what I see. Does everybody else see Infinity Blab?
So I'll say, who we got here? Okay, so I got to get everybody's name. Sorry, because everything is
like it's your Blab screen that's Infinity.
Okay, so Randy, I would say, okay, Randy, I'm not sure if this is going to be in the recording. We'll have to see. I did want to mention that I did try to record last week's episode and it did get recorded, but there were some issues. So hopefully this one will be up like tonight or tomorrow, and I can let you guys know. We're about 40 minutes in, so you want to test that out. So I want to just tell you, okay, so there's basically two new features on Blab. That's actually kind of cool. Like I basically can create a line up my Blab screen. That's pretty cool. Okay, so two new features. One of those is this green button over here. And the way this works is if I ever want to share anything on Blab, all I have to do, for example, let's share tool number 1. I just paste the link in here. We're going to click this and let's see what happens. Okay, there it is. Awesome. This is actually awesome. Okay, so tool number 1 is a tool called Editor. And so what you can do with that little feature I just did there, guys, is you can paste the link in there and it will go out to the site and pull back some information. In this case, it's an app that you can read about and download and so forth. If it's a link to a video, if it's a link to Facebook and so forth, or an article, it'll usually try to pull back some of the content. So the one benefit is you can basically share links and it'll preview it for everybody who's watching. Okay, so that's feature number 1. If you ever want to exit that out, we'll do that. I'll tell you about Editor in a second. And then number 2 is this purple button. And I want to say, okay, I'm glad it's showing my full screen. So, okay, I'm going to watch my mouse cursor. So Blab has this other feature over here, or if I click on it, it's basically a Chrome extension you have to install. So what I did to get screen sharing enabled, really simple. I started my Blab up. I clicked on this purple button, and it asked me to install this. It's the Blab screen sharing extension. By the way, Vincent, do you want to tweet that out that we're talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about Blab screen sharing or something. So that's actually what's going to then let me share my screen, and it gives you an option. It'll give you an option to then select which window you have open. So, for example, if let's say I had 5 Google Chrome windows open, not tabs, but 5 windows, it would let me select the specific one I want to use. So those are 2 new features for Blab. And it looks pretty slick because now I can actually, instead of just giving you guys the link, I can say, hey, let's talk about Editor for iTunes.
Yeah, see, that's better. But
so I can't see this now, but I can't see what you guys are seeing, so I'm just going to talk about this.
Well, yeah, we can see the editor, the screen for the app on iTunes. The other way, we can only see the Infinity stuff.
So I'd say let's put this in the context for everybody. So one way you could use the green button, which basically is a link share. For example, you could put a YouTube video in there, and it will actually play it within Blab, audio and all. You can also use it to share links to specific things. For example, if I just wanted to share a link to this and show you guys what it was. Vincent, we're going to have to experiment with this and see how I can use, for example, you know how I do a lot of screen recordings of my phone. We could probably try one week setting up sharing of that and see how that works as well. Because you can share.
Well, you could even even something as simple like if you don't want to get too crazy. Not you. I'm saying anyone that's like happens to watch this. I mean, if you don't want to get too crazy with it, you could even just take the graphic for your Blab and throw it up there, like a billboard almost.
Absolutely.
During the show.
So yeah, so there's a lot of really cool stuff. So that's the two features for Blab for Randy. You're asking us about the new Blab feature. So those are two of them. I don't think they have anything else at the moment, right, Vincent?
The screen sharing was a big one.
This is what they told me when I just talked to them like 2 days ago when I was in California.
Yeah. They have some other stuff in the works, maybe not necessarily feature-wise like this, but more kind of on a community strategy side, which will be cool. And yeah, they were at the conference. It was awesome to kind of connect with them, meet them in real life, and
absolutely
hear what they're doing.
So let me actually. It's cool. You guys can see everything I'm doing. So.
So editor. What's editor?
Okay, so editor is a very neat little app. And I want you to just tell me how this looks. If it doesn't look good, we'll switch it. But basically what editor is, so instead of just publishing your blog content, what you can do is you can submit it through editor. They will edit your content for grammar and so forth. And then, they'll basically fix the mistakes, if you can see here, and give it back to you. So it's pretty slick. It's a free app, but there is do it.
It looks good. The screen, I mean, we can see you scrolling and side to side and everything. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's basically a proofreading tool. And this is good if you're somebody who, here's the other thing. If you're publishing any sort of content on your blog, you're not, if you're not an English major, you kind of just write how you normally write. Editor would be a good tool to check out, to give it a try and see how good your quality of your writing is, because maybe you've been saying things wrong or incorrectly for a long time. What you can do there is you can basically just put your content into editor. It will fix any updates basically being edited by people. And then you can republish that to your blog and so forth. So pretty simple, actually very simple.
And it's free?
It is free. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it looks, I haven't figured out if there's it doesn't, I'm sure they have some sort of paid piece to it.
Yeah.
But, at the moment, it's free. It doesn't look like there's any in-app purchases or anything like that to unlock things. I mean, it'd be kind of silly, I guess, unless it was a monthly, unless it was something that was monthly, you could pay for X amount of edits or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So right now.
Robin, if you upload to Fiverr, try this, because this is free, and I'm looking at the reviews, and take it with a grain of salt. You don't know who's writing them, but look at the reviews. There's one. I just downloaded the app, submitted a cover letter. My request was picked up, edited, and returned to me in under 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
And Rob, I would say this. I use Fiverr for certain things. And I would say I've got a couple of writers that, they're really good. For instance, I wanted to revamp my about page, and I had them write some stuff for me. The couple of people I've worked with on Fiverr, they're very good, the few that I've worked with, but there's also a lot that have been hit or miss. So you don't really know what you're getting. I even see that a lot with Fiverr with graphics. So when I use Fiverr sparingly, basically. The bar is just too low to allow anyone to be on there. And most of the time you don't really know what you're getting. So I would actually recommend checking out Editor just to see how that actually works for you, and if you actually have better quality doing that. So, and if you do that, by the way, I'd love to hear feedback. You can tweet me at CK Rocks or at Social Chefs, and I'm happy to, and I'll respond. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Yeah, I do the same thing. I find somebody I like, I stick with them for a while, but you don't really, a lot of times you don't know who you're going to get on Fiverr. So
well, and certainly for free, it's worth a shot. Obviously don't test it out with something important, but
well, you could actually. You
could, yeah. You certainly could, and then you're going to get it. It's not like they submit it for you or anything. Right. You're going to get it back, yeah.
I would say, as you've said, Vincent, I start with something small, something that, for example, if you're not writing a book, maybe you start with a blog post, 500-word blog post or something. If that's on average how long your blog posts are, start with something like that, work with it, and see how it goes over. Okay, so that's editor. I kind of like this screen sharing piece.
Well, maybe put that in the top screen though. Like, just keep that screen in the top, because right now it's still the infinity thing.
What are you saying? Oh, do this?
Put the yeah.
Yeah, I have to go back. The trick is I have to go back and actually adjust it. So,
Okay.
By the way, I did want to just mention there is a little bit of a cost for editor. So this is actually how small it is. Okay, so it's 3 cents per word. So not too bad. I mean, not bad at all. Average pickup 1.5 minutes, fixed 10 minutes, average word size 277. So what do you pay? You pay 3 cents per dozen words. What is that?
Oh, and they're saying the app is free.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, if you look at the app, actually, it looks like some of the content was, for example, some of these might have, here's $5. Some of them might have, some of them do say that it's free. It just depends on what it is. I wouldn't be, I would say, I don't know this for a fact. If they give you like a trial, for instance, to start, maybe you get the first piece free. Who knows? But you could always, I'd recommend trying that as well. And I would honestly compare that to Fiverr, see how it actually how it works. Because, for example, if I can spend $5, I'd love to know how long this piece is right here. So let's see. So it's neat. They're actually using Markdown in it, which is kind of neat. It looks like based on this little bar that's here. So let's see. Just trying to get an idea how long this piece is. Well, okay. Well, regardless, I mean, it looks like it's pretty good. I mean, from a tool standpoint, and it is available for Android as well. So if you are an Android user, check it out. Okay. So that's tool number 1 for the week. Let's go to tool number 2. Vincent, you want to talk about this one? This one's called Otto.
Yeah. And I know that we have, let's see, I think he's still in here. If we want to, I don't know if you want to bring him in, but the guy, he's hard me here. Do you want to bring in Adam? He's with Otto, actually.
Yeah, that'd be actually good. Adam, do you want
the tag? I tagged him on the tweet.
Very cool. Okay, I wasn't aware of this. So
your airplane? What does that mean, Adam? Does that mean you can't come in? Maybe you can't come in.
Yeah, he's using his he's probably using airplane on his.
It means you can't come in. Okay, no problem. Well, Adam,
if I don't
like what?
I was gonna say if we don't describe Otto correctly, just let us know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've used it. I know what it is. He's their new director of social. So that's why I thought it might be it would have been a good idea, but that's okay. He's on AirPlay. I'm a big fan of
what is Otto? Tell people what it is.
So it's an app that allows you to bring in you can gather all your listening, your podcasting, the things you're interested in, your news. I mean, you name it. You go through the app and you select all those things. You input all your interests in the podcast you listen to, and it basically allows you to select a certain amount of time, a time frame that you can customize. That it'll pull it all together into that time frame, and you listen to it. So, for instance, if I'm going to go on a walk or a jog around my neighborhood, and I know it's going to take me every day, it takes me 20 minutes.
Okay.
You go in the app, you select the time, and it's 20 minutes. And actually, let me preface this by saying, when you open the app, first of all, the onboarding is awesome. It's super user-friendly. I mean, look at the logo. Give me a break, right? I mean, that thing is as friendly as it gets. Mm-hmm. But you go in, you open the app, and you select your interests. So really anything you're interested in, you type it in, sports or even certain teams, certain topics, social media, marketing, technology, Apple, it can get specific. So you select all the things that you're interested in and want to stay informed about. And then you go in and you can also, if you're a podcast listener, you can search for all your podcasts that you listen to and add them in on the app as well. I'm trying to think if there was even one. There might have been one out of the 50 that I have on iTunes and Stitcher that wasn't in there, and I let them know. I let those guys know. I let Adam know, and I know since then it's been added. So it's easy to do, right? You add all this stuff in there. You go in, and I have 20 minutes that I want to listen.
Okay.
You go, boop, press the button, and then it's like, Otto is gathering all of your listening things, and and so it pulls in all these things together into that 20-minute period specifically.
Okay, so what's the cost of this? Is it a free app? What's the
free?
This is really cool. By the way, it's kind of I'm a little I'm trying to keep, I want to keep the window up, but I want to watch.
Well, so, here, let me do this too. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna show you. Ready?
Okay.
So I open it up because with these types of things, and this one especially, when you see it, that's always the kicker. Like whenever anyone sees it, they're like, oh. So, all right. So here's, I don't know if you can see the.
No, I'm gonna actually try something here, but
okay, try it. Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna give me a second here, but I'm gonna actually try to pull this up on my phone and share my screen with you guys. Okay, so I got part of it pulled up. Give me a second. I wasn't prepared for this.
That's okay. Well, I can do it while we're doing it too. So if I change the time, there's a little thing. I change the time. I can do 30 minutes. I'm gonna turn it.
Just has a nice ring to it. One moment while I put your broadcast together. Okay, I have a bunch of stories for you. Today is all about the AC, H2O, and SPF to max. Leave early, drive slow, and enjoy your broadcast. Let's open with quick news items and go on from there.
EU hits Google.
So it gives me news items, right?
Okay.
It gives me little thumbs. I can, like Pandora, you can thumb up or down.
Okay.
So if I don't want to hear that, it'll learn. It'll learn what I like and don't like.
Got it.
There's offline listening, which is huge, right? There's some other new things coming. And Adam says, it curates your podcast for you based on your interest if you don't want to add your podcast. That I didn't know, so I'm glad you put that in there. So it will input podcasts in there for you based on what you selected as your interest too, which is pretty cool. I like that.
That is very cool. Okay, so let me, I got part of it set up. Okay, so I just have to figure out how do I share this particular window. Let's see. So I'm going to stop sharing here for a second and see if I can pull something up.
And one of the news items that just came up was FBI paid at least $1.3 million for 0 day to get into San Bernardino iPhone.
Huh.
The FBI paid over $1 million to break into that phone. Wow.
Let's see.
And if you don't if there's something like it comes up, you don't have to listen to it. You can go through and listen to the next thing. And then it gets to your different things. Your podcasts pop up, and there you go.
Tell me what's showing up. You guys seeing this?
I see. Yeah, we see the auto.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to just sign up real quick, I guess.
Oh, this is your phone.
This is my phone, actually, yes.
There you go, Adam. There you go, buddy. Look at that.
Okay, this is gonna be really cool, Vincent.
Look, I can give props on that screen. Look at this.
Okay, we now have a new way that we're gonna do things, I think.
That is awesome, dude.
I'm gonna do maybe later to sign up, but we're gonna go through this. Okay. So 3 or more interests before continuing. Just give me some ideas here. Let's see. Okay, let's do business. Technology and let's see. Let's just say US. Okay, great. I'll pick 3.
I mean, we can't. It's at least mine. I'm on a laptop and the screen is crappy. It's a
Oh, no worries. This is totally cool.
I can see it though. I mean, I know what it looks like, but this is the whole onboarding process.
Yeah, this is actually really neat. I'm gonna actually.
Does it pull up the sound or no?
Can you hear this?
Can you turn it up all the way? And see, that's all there you go.
Okay, I have more stories for you than you can shake a stick at.
So this is actually really cool. This is actually really, really, really cool.
Right?
Let's get started.
Yeah, because I use Overcast for my podcast.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
This is actually really cool.
But this is and someone else mentioned that, but this is different, right? I mean, there's nothing out there that does this.
No, it's different because it gives you the ability to. I haven't ever gotten into using Overcast and saying, "Oh, I'm going to do 30 minutes of time or whatever."
Right.
I usually just kind of I pick what I want to listen to, and then I go out and say, okay, I have a 30-minute commute here, 30-minute walk.
Right.
I try to pick something that's going to be 30 minutes or that I know I can get done in that time frame.
And this does all the work for you.
Yes. So this is actually really cool. So Adam, I got to say, this is pretty slick.
Drive safely using voice commands. Just say, hello, Otto.
So
and let the speech
awesome.
They have some. They have a pretty big update that I heard about. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a pretty big one that's coming.
Say it again, Vincent.
There's a pretty big update that's coming within the next week or so. Tell him, okay, exclusive, or you can put it in there too, Adam. But basically, instead of the robot voice that's reading the news part, it's going to be human voices.
That's very cool. You should sell. Adam, here's a suggestion. You sell like action packs, like let me hear my podcast, or let me hear something in like a certain celebrity's voice. They used to have this for like maps, where you could have like Snoop Dogg could read your maps and so forth. I don't know how advanced that got because I never really jumped into it, but I think it would be cool to have people that are kind of interested in certain things to be able to have like maybe a certain kind of podcast. Maybe they could have it read by a certain person, and then certain news could be done by somebody.
What about actually like for the news have like paid or get news anchors?
That'd actually be cool. You could actually partner. That'd be a good way to partner.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper or actual like someone that does the news nightly or whatever.
Absolutely. So you guys are seeing my screen now, right?
Or Shaq, Randy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Shaq could do the sports, the NBA news, right? Or Barkley.
Yeah.
They could.
You could have like some of their like sayings within there.
Yeah.
Like when you get done or when you complete like a certain amount of time, like maybe Charles Barkley could say something like I don't know, let's say whoever a big shot blocker was to be like, oh, get that out of here or something like that. Or you could have like an announcer like Marv Albert.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. So Adam, thanks for the opportunity to let me showcase your app today. Vincent was telling me about this, and it's really cool. So we'll be featuring you. I'll be mentioning you tomorrow in the blog post that goes out. I hope everybody really likes Otto. This is really cool. Okay, so with that, let's see. I got one last tool for everybody. So number 3 is a tool called Ripple. And so what this tool does, so anybody who has used any sort of, let's say you want to create images or content for your social media channels that looks, here's the thing, I guess. Everybody's been using, Randy, I'll get to that one in a second. Randy's asking a question, what tool do I use to emulate my screen shares, my phone and whatnot? Okay, so let's talk about tool 3 and I'll go into the last tool, which is the screen sharing tool I use. Okay, so Ripple is a way to create animations for your social media channels. I'm going to open this and give you guys just a quick screenshot of everything. Okay, I got to figure this one out. Sorry. Okay, so got to figure out how to switch quickly within Blab, because there's no button that I can see to actually switch. Let's stop sharing. Well, let's try. Okay, we'll drop the link in, or we'll just do this. There we go. So I guess you actually have to close the window you're using. Okay, so this is Ripple for anybody that hasn't seen it. That's going up for the iTunes preview. It's a free app, but it is paid. There's a pro upgrade. It's $10. But basically what this does is it lets you, so I would say this, it's a combination of an image editor, but also a way to create very quick, eye-catching animated designs and whatnot for your social channels. So for example, you can go on here and you can easily drop your logo in, edit some text, put in, pick something that's relevant to whatever you're sharing. They've got quite a few designs to choose from. And you can share them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth with one simple click. And this is neat because you can track your post engagement as well. That's actually pretty handy. And this wouldn't actually be content, for instance, that you're sharing that is specific to, like, for instance, like you just want to, go into your social channels and check out your post and whatnot. But if if, for example, within your, say, weekly social media strategy, one day you said, hey, we're going to post an image we create using Ripple, then you'd be able to quickly go in here and check that and see how it performs across your networks and decide if you want to share it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or all three. So that's Ripple for everybody. It's $10.
It's $10 a month, right?
It's a
Oh wait, is the app $10? Let me see. No, the app is free, but that's $10 a month for the.
Is it $10 a month?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would assume it's $10 a month, but there are some apps that I've paid for that they're $10 overall, and they unlock all the features.
Like but I mean, look, hey, for what it does, it's creating content for your business potentially. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend this one enough. I mean, for $10 a month, I mean, even if you have to look at it like this. If you use a lot of, if you're a brand, if you're managing channels for a number of types of businesses, it's worth $10 a month easily. If you're not and you're just using it yourself, it's still worth $10 a month. I mean, how long is it going to? Here's the thing: how long would it take you to create something like that? If you have, and I don't want to say, oh, the bar is so low, but if you're somebody that, yeah, absolutely, Randy, I'll get to that in a second too. So I would say, if you're a business and, how long would it take you to create an animated GIF or something like this? It would take you a pretty good while because it's not just recording. You have to record it, and then you have to add other things on top of it. And so, this takes seconds to do. Just think of it like this. It's $10, say it's a month or even, a one-time purchase. It doesn't really matter. You would save that. You would easily make up that time very quickly.
Well, yeah. And it's, it is the fact that it's pretty instantaneous like that.
Yep.
Is, what if something's happening? Like something happened, in a good way, something's happening in your business that you want to really put it out there quickly. You don't have the time to submit it to the graphic designer or, have someone design it or you go and design it professionally. It's a nice little quick way to get some fun stuff out there that will help your exposure.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do another screen. I'm going to do a quick little screen share here, actually.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a quick peek into this app. This is really cool now. I like this. Okay. You guys see my phone or not? Let's see.
Not yet.
Okay. Let's go back to that.
Not yet. There it is. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
Part of it. Okay. Okay, so this is Ripple, and it's pretty neat. So we can put it, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Great. We can put a destination link, for instance. Let's say we're going to go to.
Hey, Christian, real quick, what are you doing? Are you just connecting your phone to your computer, just normal, like you?
Nope.
How are you putting it in there?
I use an app. I'll get that one in a second. I'll show you guys what I use. So, for example, let's say I want to link people back to my blog, right? So we're going to say go. Let's see what this is going to say. Okay, so it's pretty much basically going out to my site. Here's my blog. Awesome. That's actually cool. So it's basically verifying the link you're using, and then now you can customize the layout of things. And so as you can see, there's all the, this right here is the text, and this is cool. I'm actually touching this. You can see this probably, right? I'm literally just touching the screen saying, okay, let's make this bigger.
Yeah, it's moving. It's good.
If you want to edit any text, you just tap into it and make your edits. So if you want to change the logo, so here's what you get for Pro. You get unlimited access to the Pro designs, custom logos, so you can replace that Ripple logo, scheduled posts, so you can schedule these out to your social channels. That's actually really cool. Save it to your camera roll, and you get a 7-day trial. It's $10 a month. So pretty slick for $10 a month. Let's see what else in here. This kid is getting mad, making probably mad money off of the fact that he's being reused over and over and over for things. Yeah, so this is pretty sweet actually. So you can do all of this stuff. So you can do that. We can change the background. You can even add your own photos. So this is actually really neat. We're done. Let's say we're done here. and you can choose if you want to make a still or an animation. This is actually cool. So you basically are creating a meme, or you can create an animated GIF where everything kind of scrolls across the screen. So that's it. That's Ripple for you.
That's cool, man.
Pretty slick. If you can see here, like we can select. Let's just pick one. Yeah. So there you go, and there's all your shares once you share it. So
Cool.
Okay, so that's Ripple. Okay, so let me see. Do we have any other topics to talk about? Okay, so yeah, I have got a couple of. So we had a couple of questions actually. What were those questions? Let's see. So Randy, one question he asked was, do I know a good app to take multiple photos and turn them into an animated GIF? Are you on an iPhone or are you on Android or iOS device, I guess?
What's the you're on an iPhone, right?
What do you say?
You're on an iPhone. Right?
I'm on an iPhone. Yeah, is he on an iPhone?
I don't know. It's an app that you're using?
Well, no, he's asking a question. He's like, do I know of a good app to take multiple photos and turn them into a GIF?
Oh. Multiple photos and turn them into a GIF.
I can definitely tell you there's quite a few. It just depends on what platform you're on. So I would say, okay, so if you're on here, I'll give you guys some suggestions. Okay. Okay, so Animoto, I would say you might be able to use it for that, Robin. It's mainly for creating like Adobe Flash presentations. So for example, with Flash, you're using vector-based images. So you're not really using like photos. I would say if you're going to do something, if you want to create an animated GIF, here's what I do. I actually would use Workflow. Workflow is an iOS app, and I'll put a link to that in here for everybody, and I'll even show you how I use this. Workflow is not a free app. It costs a couple of dollars. It costs like $3, okay? And this is actually what it does. So this is the neat stuff. You can use it to create anything you want. So I'll give you a few examples here. Robin, is Animoto free or is it paid? I mean, I'm assuming it's free, or sorry, I'm assuming it's paid, but I tried it out the other day, which is really cool. I didn't get a chance to pay for it, or I didn't get a chance to like see if it was paid or free and how much it was. I'm not familiar with Magisto. Well, we might have to feature that one week. So I would say, okay, so the first one I want to tell you guys real quick about, is Randy still on? Randy's not on. Okay.
No.
Well, I would say first one is Workflow. Workflow is, it's $3, but it's a very, very, very powerful app. And I'm going to give you guys I'll share what this looks like. Okay, so this is Workflow for everybody, and these are some of the cool things you can do with this. I mean, you can build anything you want to do. So, for example, you can take photos and turn them into an animated GIF, and it's pretty simple. In this case, I just have to give it access, but all I do is I have to just tap the play button here at the top, and it will, for example, here, let me see this. Okay, so I basically say, okay, let's say, okay, so right now it says get latest photo. I can change this out to be something else. You can have it where it will open up your camera and say, okay, let's take 5 photos and let's apply this next step and then let's make that into a GIF. And then here's what they created. And this does all of this in one quick shot. So you don't have to do anything else. It literally will fire up your camera, ask you, let's take photo number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It stitches them together, and you get an animated GIF. So that's one thing you could do. There's also, there's tons of stuff you can do. Quotes, posting to Instagram, Slack, downloading files, and so forth, all from my iPhone, for instance. So you can even do video and turn that into a GIF as well, right from here. So all you gotta do is go in here, find photos where the duration is longer than a second. And it basically will create all this stuff for you. So that's the app that I use for doing a lot of stuff on the go. It also works on the Apple Watch, any tablets as well. And you can pretty much you just set it up to begin with, but it works great once you've got it done to be able to then perform a lot of different actions on your iPhone. So that's workflow for you.
What's the one that you use to share, like to do that just now?
Okay. So the one that I use to do that is called Reflector.
Okay.
And I've been using this one. I've been using it for a long time.
It works for what? iPhone?
It works for everything actually.
Or PC? Like it doesn't matter if it's an iPhone and a PC and a laptop, a PC laptop.
You believe you're going to get different features for each one.
Okay.
But it should be here. Let me.
So you're not actually plugging it in?
Nope. I do it all. For instance, I'm connecting through AirPlay.
Wow.
Let's see. So it's Mac, Windows, Android. Yeah, Mac, Windows, Android, Amazon Fire. Here, I'll give you guys that. So there's a link to that one real quick. And it's actually really cool the way that it works. Basically, I go on my phone, and I'll be honest, like this is how I use it. I use it for even creating all the screencast videos that I do, Vincent.
Yep.
You know, I basically go on there and what I do is I put that up there and I can record it. So it's a way for you to quickly here. I'll show you guys. So it basically works like this. And you can broadcast your tablet, you can broadcast your phone. Works on Android, works on iPhone. You can use it. You know, you can basically use it to stream pretty much anything that's on the device to the computer. So no cables needed whatsoever. It's that easy. And they also have, if anybody's a teacher, they also have like a student portion where you can use it to restrict access to things. So that's kind of neat. Haven't gotten into that one, but I use the main one. And from a cost, it's like $15. But I will say this $15. It's well worth $15. I use it for so much. I mean, I've been using this app for years. So
is it the one Reflector Director?
No, you don't want the director part.
Okay.
So basically what you would actually want, Vincent, is, let me get this.
Like, should I look up squirrels or Reflector?
Here's the Android one. Okay, so people that are on Google, people that are on Android actually have it a little bit better. It's $7 on Google.
See, I think, look, this is what I have.
Okay, so let me explain. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. So basically what it is it's an app that you install on your device. So for example, your Mac or your PC.
Yeah. Oh.
And then, or at least this is the way it works on iPhone. I don't have any app that I use on iPhone.
I got you. I know what you mean. Okay.
I use Apple's AirPlay to broadcast to the Mac or PC.
I got you.
As long as you have Reflector on the device, it'll actually then let you dump it off into the screen. So that's basically how it works.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's Squirrels. That's Reflector 2 basically. If you're an iPhone, you don't need the other piece. It has AirPlay. You have AirPlay built in, and that way you can screen share pretty much anything you've got going on there. I use it for presentations all the time and so forth. If you're on Android, it's $7. It basically, so here's the thing. This is the key thing. It makes it an Android receiver. So that's the trick there. If you're an
But to use it in the Blab, all you did was what?
Okay, to put it on the Blab, pretty straightforward. I started up Reflector on my Mac. I then went over to my phone. There's an option to share from AirPlay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just turn that on. I select my computer and they sync up or link up. And then basically it creates the screen automatically for the device. And actually, what am I sharing now? I'm not showing anything, am I? Let me show you one last little trick and then we're going to wrap up here.
Yeah.
And Vincent, I'll show you how to do this anytime you want. Just let me know.
Well, I need a Mac first.
Well, you could do, you have the Android piece, you can tie that piece in, or there's also the Windows piece as well. Okay. So this is essentially what it looks like. So this is, as you can see here, this is my phone, right? This is all like live, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty slick. So it's cool because I can flip my phone and it will also rotate based on that. And I can open pretty much anything I want in here and share it with you.
Nice.
So that's basically how it works.
Nice.
And then you can resize this. There's also a record option, which is kind of neat. So you can record the phone as well within this. It basically just records the middle part.
But to put it on that screen, to share it on Blab, like what are you doing different?
The only thing I'm doing is I'll swipe up. So basically what I did was this. I opened the app on my device, on my Mac, right? I open Reflector 2. Okay. So it's just running on here. Then I go and see where I have this AirPlay button down here.
Yes.
I then go on here and I select this one, the mirroring one.
Yep.
And I turn it on and then it shares my screen. That's all I do.
Okay.
So that's it. Nothing else, nothing more to it than that. So, so that's Reflector 2 for everybody that's watching. And it, like I said, it's $15. You basically buy the app and then you can connect via Android or iPhone. It's $15. I know there are probably other apps out there, but I've been using this for a long time and it's freaking awesome. So, I do a lot of video editing and I love being able to share tools with everybody. So, if you have questions or whatever, feel free to send me a tweet or reach out. So with that, I don't have any other topics for today. I think we actually covered a lot in such a short amount of time. Do you have anything you want to add?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. But before you hold on, because there you go. Okay. Because what happens is when you change, I've been changing the titles here.
Yeah.
So if you don't change it to, like it keeps the final title that's on the Blab when you stop recording.
Okay. Very cool.
So I want to make sure I couldn't fit in the original title because it took that from what you titled it.
Yeah.
When you scheduled it, and it won't take that many characters now. So So this will be the title of it on Blab.
Cool. Yeah. Next Gen Bizman, we were talking about. Everyone was asking me how I did some screen sharing, so I was giving everybody.
Brad, yeah, Brad, dude, it's crazy. He's just doing the screen share.
So glad I can teach everybody on that. And if you have questions, just reach out. So, by the way, if I didn't meet any of you at Social Media Marketing World and you want to chat or whatnot, feel free to connect and we can take a couple minutes and catch up. So with that, just two last things. If you want to watch next week, for starters, this episode, I'm going to try to have a recording. We ran into some issues last time. I didn't get the recording until I literally just got it 15 minutes before this Blab. So that will be going up tomorrow. If I get this one, I will put that one up as well, so you can look at everything. There will also be a blog post, a corresponding blog post that will go out, and that one is going to be available at. Let me see if I can get the URL for everybody. I think this is 32, or this is what? Yeah, this is 32. Okay, so if you want to watch tomorrow, if you want to watch a recap of this, or you want to read about it. You basically just want to bookmark this. Don't go to this link yet. It's not going to work. So that's going to be a recap to this week's show. And then if you want to subscribe to next week's episode, you can just go here. Yeah.
Are you seeing, this looks new if you scroll over, hover over the comments?
Yeah. Open. Yeah. That's been there actually.
Has it? I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, it's been there a few weeks. Let me see. Let's do the pen. Let's try the pen option. Let's see where that goes. So I pinned that one. I'm going to pin the last one.
Is that for us as hosts? Is that why?
Let me see what it did with the links.
Oh.
Where'd they go?
Pinned it in the window.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, so let me find another link. Let's pin this one. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So basically it pins it in the window. I was thinking it pinned it somewhere else, but
it'll open another window for the Cool.
So first link is if you want to read about any of the tools we talked about or watch the episode, that'll be available there. And if you want to subscribe to next week's show, just go to socialchefs.com/blab-33. And lastly, if you want to get on the email list, I basically send out to everyone what the topics are going to be about for the week. And I also send out a link to last week's show and some other new articles and content. Just text Social Chatter to 33444 to get on our list to be notified about future episodes on Blab. So with that, it's been a long week, Vincent, but this is a really good episode, I think. So I want to just thank everybody for taking the time to join us. Do you have any parting thoughts for anyone, Vincent?
I do not. That's it. We're done.
This is a good episode. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to share with you the latest social media tools and news for the week to help you keep your business moving along and generating, whether it's new prospects, new customers, and sales for your business. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Later.